Welcome to ITC204. I'm Peter White and I'm your lecturer for this session. What ITC204 does is introduce you to the discipline of the design of user interfaces, and the emphasis here will be on graphic user interfaces, things we can interact with. So some of the topics we'll cover in this subject are things like the components of HCI, how we do interaction with the different input and output devices, the different styles, and their relevance to the context for which you have to design. We'll look at some of the principles of graphic design, and we'll look at how we design for windowing systems and for user support. We'll also look at evaluation. How do you evaluate a user interface to determine whether it's relevant and actually works? And ultimately, we will be looking at the final design and evaluation of a user interface. So if you want to contact me at any time, the best bet is email. I'm an adjunct lecturer, which means I don't work full-time on the campus. So email is the best bet. Make sure you put ITC204 in your subject line, or my spam folder could send it somewhere else. Or, of course, you've got the 204 forum on Interact. So as far as resources go, ITC204 Interact is our main site. This is where all the resources are. There'll be the topics there, which is your study guide, the subject outline, the sample exam. There will probably be some readings and certainly some videos. You'll have a journal or a blog, or it may end up being a discussion board where you can meet. There will be a series of online meetings and chats, and you might have articles put up from time to time. So there are a number of things there that we can react with, and we'll work through these as we go through the subject. As far as your weekly study goes, there is a topic for each week, and the schedule will show you which topic we're up to for which week. And so there will be a series of readings, tutorials, videos, activities, and possibly some research requirements. So I would suggest at the start of each week, have a look at the topic for that week, read through the Interact topic, and that'll start to point you in the direction where we need to go. The online sessions and so on will then take you further and give you more indications of the things we need to do. So we'll have an online lecture and tutorial session each Monday evening, which will start at 1900 hours, 7 p.m. These sessions will be recorded, and the recording will be available for you the following day for you to download, or you can stream it. We'll also run the CSU replay recording for the internal sessions lectures. So I'll be doing those Monday afternoon, and they'll be available probably sometime Tuesday for you if you want to have a look at those as well. We've got 4 assignments and an exam in this subject. So the basic outline of the assignments is here. Notice that a lot of the assignments for this subject are team assignments, so you'll be working with small teams. The one thing you must do, though, if you're looking for an extension for an assignment, you must apply for it before the due date. It's no good talking to me on the due date, or worse yet afterwards. You need to be before the date. So let's have a look at teams. So in the real world, most interface designers work in small teams, and so we'll be using design teams. So these can be quite effective for you. So you'll find in the first week I'll have a list of who's who in which team. And what you've got to do with your team is you can share ideas, you'll learn from and with each other, and you'll probably find that working together and cooperatively, your design will come together very fast, and it'll end up being better than if you had just trying to work it all out by yourself. This is the beauty of cooperative work. It really sometimes can be very, very effective. Now, how do we assess that? So we'll assess your work this way. We'll assess firstly the quality of the design that the overall team produces. Then we'll assess the quality of the documentation produced by the team to support that design. So that's the first step, right? Then we'll look at each individual team member's contribution to that outcome, and we'll look at your contributions to the design, your contributions to the documentation, and your contributions to the team discussion on the forum. So what this means is you've got to not only just talk to people, but put those talks into your team forum so that you can be seen to be involved, and you can therefore be assessed. Okay, so make sure you do that. Okay, assignment 1, this is an individual assignment, and this is just to sort of get you starting to think about how to design. Even though we won't have done a huge amount of design work by this stage, this is where you need to start. Well, we're going to create 2 designs for the Mountain Artist Cooperative Market. That's the case study that we're looking at for this session. So you'll need to read the case study requirements and the presentation and marking criteria, and the due date for that is the 23rd of the 7th. So this is just a very simple exercise just to get you started. Assignment 2 is now worth 20%. This is the first of the team designs. So your team will look at all of your individual designs and say, okay, the most promising design from the team is this one. Now we're going to start to develop it and go on. And what you'll probably find is that you'll have ideas from each of the 3, 4, 5 different designs that you've got to choose from. But one will provide the base, and lots of other ideas will then come into it. And this cooperative work is the best way to produce things. We use it in my workplace all the time, and it's very, very effective. The due date for this, the 6th of August. Assignment 3, it's a value of 10%. This is now an evaluation exercise. Now, what you're going to do is you're now going to evaluate one of the assignments that another team has done for assignment 2. So you're going to look at their design, and you're going to evaluate it for usability. So not only are you going to evaluate the usability of it, but you've got to determine what are the issues and recommend how they should be fixed. Okay, so this is a chance for you to actually look at a design in progress and say, okay, I think this will work, this bit looks good, this bit needs to be fixed because I don't think this will work because. Right? So the whole idea is to bring this together so that you pass on the benefits of your knowledge and your assessment to another team, and they will do the same for you. The due date here, the 3rd of September. Assignment 4, 20%. So you're still working on the same set of designs, but now out of the designs we'll produce a working prototype. Okay, so we're using a design tool called Balsamic Mockups, and this is a commercial tool that's used by most of the big design shops. But it's got an ability to link all the different wireframes together so that you can step through the prototype as if it were compiled and running. Okay, so this is your final assignment. This one's due by the 24th of September. And then finally, you've got an exam. The value of this is 40%, 2 hours long. You'll have a series of short answer questions on design, usability, the theory and the practice of both of these two areas of concepts. And then there'll be a case study that'll set out a scenario for a design problem. And so you'll have a question which will ask you to design an interface. It'll only be a fairly quick and simple one. You've only got 2 hours after all. And you justify your decision. Say why this design, these are the principles of design that support that. And then you would then design some usability testing for that interface and say, this is why I would do it. Okay, so there you go. That's ITC204. It's a really, really interesting subject, and I think you'll have a lot of fun. If you've got any questions, please don't hesitate to contact me or put your questions up on the notice board.